It was 1979, and I was the Chief of Technical Services for Sigma Sound Studios in New York. I was called into a studio where there was a Brian Eno session going on. And Brian and the engineer were sitting at the console. They showed me that they had the onboard console oscillator on, and they demonstrated that the frequencies from the oscillator were bleeding into all the aux sends. And the aux sends, of course, go to outboard processing, and they go to chambers. And so it was coming back in this sort of otherworldly, eerie sounding tone that came back, and it kind of sounded pleasant, but it's not supposed to be that way. Was there anything I could do about it? Asked the engineer. And I'm thinking, well, I can take this MCI prototype that Sigma Sound Studios bought, and I can wheel it out onto the curb for pickup the next morning. And cut my inner dialogue short by saying, you know what, I think I can use this. And I said, okay, that's great. I have an oscillator down in the shop that has a lot of other frequencies on it. And he had been twirling through the oscillator settings, and it was sort of a dominant ninth that you could hear from the lowest tone up to the highest that was audible. And he said, no, I don't want the shop oscillator. I think I'll just take the tones that have been given to me by chance. Chance. I thought, huh. And that's stuck with me through the years. So here we are today, and we've got this setup, we've got this arrangement where we can take plugins and we can get any piece of gear we want up on the computer screen. You just plug it in and go. But here's the deal. When I take a cable and I plug a microphone into a mic pre, I establish a very complex relationship between these two items. We're going to interact in ways that we don't even bother trying to quantify. We listen, we get it to a certain realm, and then we go, okay, how does it sound? Every piece of gear you're going to plug in that's an analog piece of gear, in one studio, it's going to sound one way with a particular length of cable, going to a particular input on the console and a particular console. It's all going to be very unique. That element of chance doesn't happen when you use a plugin. It's always going to sound the same. That's a place that digital technology is light years away from. So chance, it's really an essential part of the artistic process. How do we not do that? We're running away from it. We create composite vocal tracks. We have these plugins. We create drum grids. We do all kinds of things to make sure that we never have to take a chance. But chance is the magic part of this creative equation.